What up, guys? Old School Dan checking in here with HablaPoz from France. He is the best poser I've ever seen from France, and I wanted to introduce you guys to him, so I'll let him take it away. Emmanuel, thank you so much for being on the show. Please tell us who you are, a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Well, thank you for having me on your YouTube channel. For me, it's an honor. I've been raised with the United States, in France. It's a big thing, the US. I know you guys can't, understand that very well, but for us, for me, United States means a lot, and being there, it's an honor and a privilege. So my name is Emmanuel. I'm French. I'm 32 years old at the moment. I'm born in the southeast of France, so I don't know if your community know France. It's located between Marseille and Monaco, so it's the sunniest area we have in France. Unfortunately, when you met us, it was raining. It was winter,
Yeah.
but yes. So my name is Emmanuel. I'm an international posing coach since I'm 18 years old. Uh, and I'm known on Instagram by the name of HablaPoz. And for me, my passion is bodybuilding, old school bodybuilding, and most of all, artistic bodybuilding. I'm trying to share my vision of posing um, through spirituality, through emotion, love, and everything that I'm going to explain to you in the coming questions.
Awesome, dude. Thanks so much for sharing that with us. So right now I want to ask you, like, how long have you been training for? Because you have a really good physique. Like, your physique looks very symmetrical, proportional, very classic. How long have you been training for?
Thank you, Dan. And I've been training since 2005, but I discovered the hard training in February 2008 when I subscribed to a very old school gym here in the south of France. It was way before the fitness trend in France, because it just came in France like 5 years ago, and fit girls things and everything. But when I started, it was only men's and rusty barbells, and everybody shouting and posing, and we were driven by passion, and it was crazy. But I was starting my bodybuilding experience at a very young age, around 7, 8 years old, because my father, he's born and raised in the south of France, and I don't know if you guys. I'm sure you guys know Francis Benfato.
Yeah.
Francis Benfato is one of the most famous and one of the best posers of all time, one of the most emotional and artistic bodies of all time, and he was actually a friend of my. He's actually a friend of my father, and they used to train together when they were 17, 16, 18 years old, together in the south of France. And my father raised us with bodybuilding, with all those movies, American movies, with Stallone, with Schwarzenegger, with Bruce Lee, and everything, and so on. So we were fascinated by all those bodies, and we were watching it like it was, something extraordinary. So I was born with a lot of problems with my bones, and I was supposed to be on a wheelchair. So it was difficult for me I couldn't do any sports. So I was like, I had a surgery when I was 11 years old. So thank you for telling me I have a good physique, but it's not my goal. My goal in my page is to show the movement. That's why I always show my physique with the sun behind me. I'm not here to show my physique, but I'm here to show the movement, to show the art of bodybuilding, to show the feelings, and to show the people that bodybuilding can be appreciated, like when you go to the theater, like when you go to the opera. And we want to bring common people to our discipline and say, wow, before I wasn't thinking that bodybuilding could bring me emotion and everything like that. So it's a long story, a long love story for me. Old school bodybuilding. My father was always flexing in front of us, like double biceps, front lat spread, and I was like, wow, I had a blast, and I was like, when I'm gonna be 17, 18 years old, I'm gonna subscribe to a gym and trying to do my best to have a athletic body naturally, and to really my biggest passion is posing. It's more posing than the physiques, and that's why when I was 18 years old, I decided to share um, my knowledge with people that were um, having the desire to present themselves in an artistic way. So that was an honor for me to help those amazing bodies through the world, and that's what I'm sharing now with my community in HablaPoz IG stories and photos and videos. So yeah, I'm talking a lot. Sorry.
No, it's good. It's good. I appreciate you sharing the vulnerability and the story behind all that stuff.
Thank you.
You know what we need to come up with? We need to give you like, you know how like Danny Padilla has like a name like the Giant Killer, Arnold has the Austrian O. We got to come up with a name for you, something that really pops. You know what I'm talking about?
Everybody is calling me HablaPoz in France. HablaPoz, I'm just giving you the meaning behind it. My mother is Spanish, right? My father is French,
Yeah,
and hablar in Espanol in Spanish means to talk, to speak,
yeah,
you know.
yeah,
And I wanted something to be easily pronounced by everyone, and introducing the pose and the language. So I'm basically hablando de la posa. I'm talking about posing. So this is one single language, un solo idioma, one single language. The
yeah.
language that's the language that we're sharing all over the world is passion. Is we are bounded by heart, and this is what we need to show through our movement, because it's not only muscles, it's more than that. Bodybuilding is not only muscles, it comes from the heart, and this is what makes bodybuilding extraordinary. This is not powerlifting, this is not um, fitness, this is physical culture, this is artistic, this is beautiful, and posing is where you practice it, is where you perform it. So for me, posing is everything.
See, this is what I mean, man. When you start talking like that, this is why I brought you on here because when you talk about posing in itself, you could just tell like by the words you use to describe it and explain it, you could just tell that you're passionate about this. And that's what I like. This is why I brought you on here because I don't talk a lot about posing on my channel too much. But I really wanted to bring someone who I thought was really passionate about it and could really bring valuable to my viewers. So appreciate you being on here.
I appreciate. I mean, seeing your physique in real life was, yeah. We were talking about that. It was amazing. You're one of the best physiques I've ever seen. I mean, the lines are amazing, and your intelligence and your sensibility is showing through your physique, which means that you've been training like an artist, like a sculptor that is adding mass in the right places. And this is the beauty of bodybuilding. This is what makes bodybuilding, um, uh, I don't know if we can say that in English, pointy, like with finesse. This is not only adding mass randomly, you add it with intelligence, with an artistic approach, and you show it with the heart. And I loved it. I loved it. Your body is looking very artistic, and I'm really sure that you're going to be showing even more in the coming months.
Thanks so much, man. It was a blast being in France. But what I really want to know is that what is your opinion of both modern bodybuilding and classic bodybuilding right now? Curious.
Hmm. That's an interesting question. I've been raised with the old school bodybuilding, right? I mean, like a lot of people, I was seeing all those black and whites, amazing photos of Frank Zane, Arnold, of course, and I was amazed. And I was amazed by those artistic bodies, like in the Louvre Museum in Paris, when you see the ancient Greek statues. For me, it was the same thing. Bodybuilding belongs to this kind of art, and it's a true sculpture. And sculpture is something elegant. It's not something um, beastie, something that is frightening. It needs to show grace, beauty, elegance, aggressivity, but shown with manliness, not with being beastie. You know, I don't know if it makes sense. And so this was my roots, right? And then yeah, like all you guys know, watching this live in the early 90s with Dorian Yates and everything, Gary Stridham was the very first guy to bring that crazy thickness. And yeah, I, I think we need to blame the authorities, because if the sport is now what it is because the judges started to reward what is not acceptable, and the the contenders are following always the champ. You know, if you reward someone with a big waist and posing is okay, but crazy muscles and dry to the bones, so you're going to be doing exactly the same thing to beat him, and maybe even more. But if you reward someone maybe smaller, but bodybuilding is not about size. Bodybuilding is about symmetry, is about emotion through the posing. So everybody is going to be doing the same thing. So I think now there is two different disciplines: modern bodybuilding and classic physique, which is a total different sport for me. Modern bodybuilding, I mean, all the X supplementation are all over the place, and I don't know this world, and I don't want to know that. I just want to talk about art. I just want to talk about emotion, posing, and so on. And classic bodybuilding is good. I mean, it's better than nothing. But for
Yeah.
me, it's not what it used to be. You know, when someone comes with the crazy cannonballs shoulders,
Yeah.
uh, for me, this is not classic. It's not because you're doing the archer pose that you are classic. You're not. It's something that needs to come from the heart by years and years of observing everything. I'm not saying I'm the best, but I'm saying that this is what I want to express, and this is what I want to share with my athletes, with my clients, and make them know that bodybuilding is all about presenting yourself with um, with everything that I mentioned. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What you said about the whole judge is that, see, a lot of us tend to blame like Dorian Yates being the first mass monster, this and that. We always seem to blame the athletes, but you brought up a good point where it's like, why are we blaming the athletes when it's actually the authorities as the judges per se? It's their fault because they're the ones that are rewarding this type of look where when they're pretty much the ones who created, like they popularized the mass monster. Like if they would have voted against it, chose someone else that they felt had the nice proportions, it wasn't too overly big, nice symmetry, then we could have had avoided this whole thing of what modern bodybuilding is today with the bubble gut, too much size. It's all about mass. And that was a good point you brought up there. And also something else I want to talk about was that you made another good point where it's like old school bodybuilding is different from classic bodybuilding. It's not, like you said, it's not what we want it to be, but it's all we have at the moment. But again, they're really two different things. It's like old school bodybuilding, we have the Franco, the Steve Reeves, the Reg Park, and nowadays, I mean, we got Brayon, Chris Bumstead, um, these guys. But it's all we have. So I guess we have to appreciate it as it is. Excuse me.
Yeah, they are great champions. I have a lot of respect for them. But this is not my taste. I'm just telling you guys my taste. My taste is mass with class, like Samir Banut was always saying.
Yes.
So this is, yeah, the physics from the 50s, 60s. Maximum for me, Lee Haney's kind of mass, you know. This is the maximum for me. Even if it's for me a little bit too dry, because for me, bodybuilding, physical culture needs to remain something healthy. And if you want to look healthy, having a skull face is not very healthy, right? So you need to be dry, you need to have details. But I really like the conditions that we were able to see in the 70s, in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
It was elegant. And just giving you an example, the women's the best, how do you say that? They do the best ranking, the best rates about guys, right?
Yeah.
So maybe you take 10 guys from the modern era, and you take 10 guys from the old school bodybuilding era, and I'm pretty sure 90% of the women are gonna love the old school look because it's muscular, yes, but it's not frightening. It's elegant, and men as well are going to say, "I want this physique. I want to be beautiful like this guy. I want to be looking amazing, small waist, V taper, but still moving, still looking athletic, uh, still out of the norm, but staying elegant and displaying mass with an artistic approach, because when you pose, it's a completely different ballgame. When you see someone from the old school era and someone from the modern era, um, there are good posers. Don't get me wrong. People like Rough Diesel is absolutely outstanding.
It's good.
But yeah, we do have good examples in the modern era. But what is rewarded for me sometimes not the best choice. I mean, most of the time.
I agree, dude. Um, Another question I have for you is, who are your top three favorite poses? This is actually something I'm really curious about because you're very passionate about posing, and I'm sure you studied a lot of really good posers. So I'm really curious as to who are your top three favorite posers of like all time. Mm.
Wow, that's a very, very difficult question because I can give you a top 10, but and that depends of my age. When I was 20, I had different taste than now. So I've been loving people like, yeah, of course, Steve Reeves.
Steve
Very
Reeves.
natural look, very
Black.
natural look,
Yeah.
very, very elegant, and Hercules, absolutely outstanding.
Yeah.
The charisma from this guy was from another planet. So I don't know if you saw the movie Athena. The charisma he has on stage is from another planet, and still very good looking guy.
Yeah.
And so I would say Steve Reeves. I would say in my style, little brother, because my mother is Spanish,
Yeah.
and he was portraying a lot of Spanish movement that people like Santi Aragon at the moment is displaying, because it's very inspired by this kind of guys. And I really like the Hispanic way to move, and like Toreador, in the corrida with the cape, the red cape, and everything.
Yeah.
I think it's very, yeah, it's manly, but also filled with sensibility and class, and moving like a panther.
Yeah.
And talking about panther, uh, I would say Francis Benfato is someone that is very unique, because when you see his routine, I think it's the 1990 or 1991, something like that, when he was placed as sixth place, is moving like a panther. And it's very impressive, very dramatic look. All the poses are filled with I don't know, pride, and also pain, and you can feel everything. I mean, it's like a storytelling, and I really love it. I really love it. It's difficult. It's not maybe my top three. I mean, you can switch people, and people like Kai Green, even if it's hardcore
He's good.
bodybuilding,
Yeah, he's good.
very, very impressive. And for me, he's an artist, so I can always
Appreciate it.
thank the artist to show things like that. So I would say, yeah, at the moment, Steve Reeves, Little Brother, Francis Benfato, Bob Paris, absolutely outstanding. Yeah, this is basically my top. Yeah.
Those are some really good choices. Hey, you remember that thing you told me in France? It was about the think about a moment where you feel like distressed. You remember this? Can you tell us more about like? Can you give us like three concepts of this? Because you know you're a posing coach, and some of that stuff you taught me back in France was really good. When you told me about when you do a pose, think of a distress moment where you feel sad, upset. Can you share with us three concepts of your posing training that would be valuable for us to take to take home and really practice on? Because you have some really interesting concepts, and this is exactly one of the reasons why I brought you on the show to share with us that value that you can spread with other people, because I think it was really good information.
Well, first of all, thank you for your sensitivity because when you're talking like that, means that you have the heart of an artist and you're not afraid to show your femininity.
Yeah.
And femininity is a key to become the best man. If you're able to show your femininity, you're going to be able to display something extraordinary because it's a balance. It's like the yin and the yang. A
Yeah.
real man is going to be a real man when he's going to be able to be very manly, but also very able to cry sometimes. And at the beginning, when you're starting your bodybuilding journey, I'm pretty sure you did that. You're watching all the videos and really watching all the pictures and trying to copy that, trying to mimic that. And then after several months, you eventually nail that and you're happy with the pose. So you become technically competent, right? But it's not sufficient. When you're technically competent, you're good. But if you want to become extraordinary poser, like the people I was talking about, like Frank Zane, uh, Bob Paris, and so on, Francis Benfato, Steve Reeves, all those guys, Arnold, you need to be able to go to the dark places of your life and bring back the pain and use the disasters of your life in certain poses to be even more powerful. For example, when you're doing a side chest, it's a very impressive and manly look. So you need to have, that power showing out, showing on your face. So to be able to display this emotion, you need to watch your life in your head and be able to pick the moments that are very powerful in your life. For example, you lost someone, or you've been betrayed, or anything, and then you use this pain to fill the movement with something more than a pose. Uh, so this pose is going to become extraordinary because it's been filled with your heart, and the movement followed is followed by all your life, and you become an extraordinary poser because everything that you do between those poses, those transitions, are filled with first concept, the disasters of your life. Second concept, the power that you can feel in your life when you need to be strong on those power shots, right? Like maybe the most muscular shots. You need to be very manly so you can use this power. And yeah, when you felt more sensitive, when you were feeling love, you can use another concept, which is grace and beauty. Grace and beauty is going to give you that very beautiful elegance and pride look, and showing all the love that you've been feeling in your life. So it's a yin and a yang. You're going to be using the disasters of your life for the very manly and powerful shots. It's going to be very dramatic, and you're going to be using the love, the sensitivity for the more elegant, when you need to open, when you need to be proud, when you need to show that you're more just meathead. You're an artist. You're
Yeah.
working with the flesh and you're displaying it with your heart. And this is the beauty of physical culture, because culture is made with with love, and all of us, we are made of this stuff that we make dreams. So we need to use that.
That was really good, dude. That was good. See, this is why I like talking to you, man. This is why I brought you here. You're a good guy with a lot of good concepts.
Thank you. I appreciate.
Also, dude, you told me when we were in France that, because you've come to California before, you said that you dropped by Artemis Dogan's house. How was that? Telling
Yeah,
that story.
that was
That
crazy,
was
man. That
cool.
was crazy. Because I'm following bodybuilding since a long time, right? And I remember very well. It was in 2008. He was doing his first, maybe one of his very first bodybuilding show. I think it was Men's Physique, and he had this long hair and square the chest, very small waist, and very old school and manly look. It was absolutely unique, and he was absolutely differentiating himself from the crowd. It was like we say in French, the black sheep between the white ones.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, this guy is something, and I started to follow him, and years after year, he was surprising me. Like I was amazed, because at that time it was the era of Ronnie Coleman, all this hardcore bodybuilding, which I appreciated as well because it was impressive, but it didn't give me any emotion. And this guy Artemis, he started it all over again, the way to present it with grace, with artistic approach, and he was collaborating with people with like Samir Banout and Denis Padilla and Tom Platz and all those guys. So for me, at the moment, is the essence of this uh, bodybuilding trend that we are living back again, once again, since a few years, is the one that is the leader of it for me. It's my opinion, and I wanted to reward him. So yeah, one of the French tradition is to drink wine. As you know, we are very known for that. And I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, first time I'm going to go to United States. I'm going to California doing a road trip, and I'm going to be staying in Hollywood Hills. And I know he lives here, so I need to bring him something. So I went to a local place. I bought him. I tell you the story like it is. The French, rosé. The rosé is like a pink wine that you drink on summer days, and you can accompany that with a salad and everything. And I know this guy has a very healthy lifestyle. Like he was at that time eating a lot of salads. I was like, I need to bring him a rosé bottle. So uh, I saw his house and his car. It was like being inside the dream. It was crazy for me, like to see that in real life. And I was shocked, and I was like, yeah, I don't want to disturb him in his privacy and knocking at the door. So I left him the bag with the rose bottle. I kept going. I kept doing my thing. I went to have coffee somewhere, and Instagram, my phone just buzzed. I mean, like, I don't know, beep. And I received a private message from Artemis. He was thanking me and sending me a special thank you video, and it was very cool, and I really loved it. And we chatted a little bit. And yeah, Artemis, if you're watching this video, it was an honor for me. You're one of our idols, and keep going, man. Keep punching, stay classic. And one day you come to France, I make you the visit to the winery, and it's gonna be amazing. So keep doing your thing. You are amazing, and we love
Awesome story, dude. So before we end the interview, I wanted to actually run through one of your posing videos
Yeah.
because I wanted you to see if we can help, sort of break down the poses and kind of give explanations of what you were feeling during those poses or what what inspired that specific pose. So hope you don't mind. I'm going to go ahead and just share my screen right now and pull up that posing video and we can talk about that because I think people got to see this. All right. So just to make sure, is my screen being shared?
Yeah, I can see it. Thank
All
you.
right, so let's pull it up right here. You can see everything on my desktop. All right, here we go. I think I might want to trim this down a little bit so it's not so huge, and pull this off to the side. There, it's better. All right, here we go. All right, we got 1 minute and 7 seconds. So here we go. Well, actually, first tell us about the environment. Why did you choose this environment? Anyways, like outdoors. Like, what's up with that?
Man, this is a very special place for me. I don't know if I've been telling you that, but this place that you see, those stones and those trees, are located an hour away walking from the house I was living when I was a child. So I couldn't, I mean, I could barely walk, and it was difficult for me to walk. And I mean, it's privacy now, so it's like an intimate moment. But yeah, I was a child when I was in this place, and we were training karate and doing sports. I mean, trying to do sports with my father, and was telling us all those amazing stories and everything. And one day, something happened in my life, something that destroyed me. I went to Australia to rebuild, and I wanted to leave my print. And I was like, yeah, what do I like to do? I like to speak English. I like to pose. I like bodybuilding. So I need to leave like a diary of me and doing what I love. So the place was here. I had it on my mind. It was this epic place I've been to when I was a child, and it was this place. No one knows this place except me, and yeah, I'm posing for hours. I was posing today at this spot actually, and I did the 3 hours posing with my headphones and nothing around, just wind and my heart expressing. Maybe I don't have the, I mean, of course I don't have the best body, but maybe I have the best heart. And this is what I want to share with you guys and show you that bodybuilding is more than muscle. And everybody is able to bodybuild, even if you're small. You can show good lines, artistic approach, and it can be emotional for a lot of people.
Appreciate you sharing the vulnerability. That's always tough to sort of share that, intimate story with everyone without everybody, having the fear of being judged. So you appreciate you sharing the story behind that. And this is a really epic background. I love it because it's not very common for people to be. It's usually people are posing under good lighting in a nice gym, with some really cool lighting or whatnot. But it's polarizing that people choose to pose outside in the outdoors and nature. That almost reminds me of Arnold being posed up in the mountains. So this was what that reminds me of. But also, one other thing I wanted to say was that I don't know if you ever heard of Mario da Silva. He's a natural bodybuilder who competed against Arnold Schwarzenegger in a contest. He lost to Arnold, of course, because Arnold was taking supplements to enhance his body, but he did end up winning best poser. So you may not have the best physique, and it's good that you admit it. But you're definitely a freaking good poser. So I mean, if we can
Thank
give
you.
out a award for someone being a good poser, you'd probably get it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, let's go ahead and start the video because this is what we're all here for.
Okay,
Okay.
so I'm basically opening my arms like in a Samir Banouch way. And as you can see, my chin is always a little bit up. When you're doing something like that, you're showing more pride, sorry. And this is more like you need to be proud of your physique. If you love physical culture, you need to do those elegant poses with the chin up. Don't do like that. Don't be shy. There's no place for shyness in bodybuilding.
Mm-hmm.
You need to show it with pride, and that's what I did with the opening very wide and always the chin up and showing, yeah, elegance. You know, the movements are smooth between the poses. I'm doing the second pose with the double biceps, and then I'm doing the exact entry, but with the open hands. Oh no, I'm doing the lat spread first. And as you can see, I'm oriented my waist just a little bit. I'm showing it from the side because I have a pretty wide hip. So when you're showing it, when you're twisting a little bit, your waist is a little bit smaller. So bodybuilding is all about appearing better than that you look. So then you look so you look good, but you need to look even better. It's an illusion. So you need to know these tricks, and that's very useful for someone with the big hips. I mean, actually, Arnold was always presenting himself at three-quarter poses. This is not by a hazard. This is there is a meaning behind it.
Mm.
So this is the intelligent approach of presenting yourself. So then I'm switching to the back poses, always opening with my hands with emotion. I'm doing, yeah. You need to play with your fingers
Like, what did you
because
say
when
about that thing? You did the, you remember when me and Bruno were talking about it? Yeah, what is that
yeah.
called?
I mean, it's like grabbing a fish from the water. Like when Samir Banut was talking about that in a camp with
Yes.
Artemis. And there is definitely that idea. You need to, when you're playing with your fingers, it's more than just flexing and you need to have those powerful fists, right? But you need to also have those transition with like the little brothers with the open hands and very like a witch, and like it's showing more dramatic look and more something more artistic. And this is my style, maybe not the taste of everyone, but this is one way to show transition and more sensitivity and more fragility between the poses. So this is now a lat spread. I'm turning my head at the opposite way of uh, my pointed toes. So this makes like a diagonal line and looks pretty good. Then I'm doing a nice transition with the open hand. And then I'm going to do like the classic single biceps like Arnold did.
Yeah.
And you're gonna see that in the next movements I'm going to do this pose, but switching it to the left side because you need to be able to show to the audience that you can play with the right and left sides and occupy all the room of the stage, and your presence need to be yeah everywhere basically. So yeah, I'm always opening my arms, coming back to this entry, very powerful, very masculine, switching it with the open hands at the moment, and now doing the archer pose, always flexing and trying to keep the pose in order to the audience to appreciate the pose. You need to hold it for maybe 1 second or half a second. It's pretty important. And then I think I'm doing the mantis pose right after that. Yeah. So this one is pretty. Uh, I mean, for me, it was pretty difficult because you need to show the chest and you need to twist a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's a classic pose. And then I'm doing the single biceps, but this time, as I told you, in the next the other side, I'm touching my hat to adding a little bit more like my style and doing another archer pose. As you can see, I'm not really showing my body because the sun is behind me. I'm showing the movement, and this is the idea I wanted to portray. So this is manliness filled with sensitive transition. And when I did that, there is actually no sound. But if you go to my page and you check out the video, it was the Reem video game I was playing at that moment. Basically, the story was a father losing his child, and it's a drama. So I was filled with this emotion, and I wanted to express it through a posing and show it with the best poses that would be able to introduce it. So yeah, this is an example of what I'm doing and what I want my athlete to do using their style, of course, but always, yeah, doing the poses, trying to keep it for half a second, trying to play with the left side and the right side, trying to show emotion on your transitions, play with the hands and the fingers to add more drama uh, to the to the scene, and uh, and yeah, always with the chin up, being proud and showing you something artistic.
How about we play that one more time? Let's do an instant replay. I want to see this one more time without the whole pausing thing, because all that information is good, but I want to see the whole thing again. It's all very good positioning. It's very smooth posing, very controlled. Yeah.
I like this one. It's like I'm touching and caressing the air, right?
Yeah.
You can see very dramatic transition.
Very dramatic. Yeah, this is very good.
I'm watching my hand like I'm watching the world, like I'm holding the world on my hand, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm caressing the air, and the plants are moving, the trees are moving with the wind. I'm filled with the emotion. I'm showing my heart. I'm opening with pride. And I'm showing a nice silhouette because it's all about the silhouette, you know?
Yeah.
And this is the signature of HablaPoz. Black silhouette, black silhouette in the nature, and the combination of human body, flesh, with organic nature.
Dude, this is so epic, man. I love it.
Thank you. I appreciate your feedback. Now I want you to do more posing videos on your IG.
Yeah. I'll definitely work on that. Um,
Yeah, you have to now.
yeah. All right, man. Well, it was really great to have you on the show, on the channel. I'm pretty sure everyone's going to appreciate this video when they see it. But I'm going to drop all your links on the description below, and I'll actually try to implement them in the video in itself, so that way people could follow you. Add your Instagram, which is your Instagram is
HablaPoz, HablaPoz.
awesome, awesome. And I'll put all your links. Also, guys, if you want to hit up HablaPoz as your posing coach, this guy is the best I've seen in France and probably around the world. If you want to hit him up for coaching, he does online Skype coaching. You could tell us more about that. What's the what services do you offer as a coach?
Yeah, this is actually my business card.
Yeah.
I have 3 types of business cards. This one, I'm just showing you another one because it shows the idea I was talking about. Second, yeah, this one. This one is very dramatic.
I remember that one. Yeah.
Let's see. I think you picked this one.
I did pick that one. Yeah.
So yeah, basically at the moment I'm offering 2 types of thing. The first one is the in-person posing class, which is obviously in the area I'm living in. So French Riviera, I'm actually working from Monaco to approximately Marseille. So I'm going to see my athletes in person, and we're working on the mandatory poses, and then the 8 I mean the quarter turns and then the 8 mandatory poses, and then we're doing special in person sessions for the posing routines, which I do as well. And the other side is the online coaching. So I'm working via Skype, via WhatsApp, and so on. So I was working actually a few days ago with a client in Toronto. I mean in Montreal, but he was actually competing in Toronto, and he won the Classic Physique King Kong Classic.
Nice.
So that was nice, and we've been working together for I think 3 months. So yeah, in-person classes and Skype adjustment session all over the world. Yeah.
Nice, nice. Guys, when I tell you this guy's really good, is that when I went to France and when I met him and when he, it was really random because we were at the beach and he was like, you know what? Fuck it, dude. Just take off your clothes right here and start posing. And I was like, oh, snap. I was like, let's do it then. And the way he corrected me, the way he explained his concepts about posing was like nobody I've ever heard before. So when I say this stuff that he has to offer is valuable, it really is valuable. And it's even, I mean, I think, if you hire him online, I think it's going to be good. But I think doing in person would probably be the best because it's going to be the most valuable. And I think he has some really good concepts that he can share with you. So if you guys want to hit him up, I'll put all his links below and I'll try to incorporate his Instagram username in the video in itself. But Emmanuel, do you have any last words before we end this interview, this great interview before?
Well, I want to thank your community and all the people from all over the world watching us because we are at the start of something that is more than just showing muscles, and it's something amazing that we are building with you, with Jordan, with Jan, with all those crazy guys that are trying to bring back elegance to this discipline and give back those golden letters that the bodybuilding used to have, and we want to bring back this name of physical culture on the top of the pyramid like it used to be. And we are working with with honesty, and we want to help you guys. You can definitely trust Daniel, because this guy has heart, this guy has passion, and he has everything that makes old school physique, and he's only starting something that is going to be even bigger than his name. So I'm pretty sure you can follow this guy without any doubt. He's going to be a big name in the industry. I'm pretty sure about that.
Thank you so much. All right, man. Well, it was great to have you on the show. Guys, thank you so much for watching. With that being said, check out Emmanuel. I'll put all of his links in the description. Subscribe for more videos like this. Give this video a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. I'm Old School Dan. I'm gone. Peace.